In Psycho Talk tonight, Texas Governor Rick Perry doesn't give a damn about the massive income inequality in this country. His attitude was on full display during the Republican debate last night.
Governor Perry, over the last 30 years, the income of the wealthiest 1% of Americans has grown by more than 300%. And yet we have more people living in poverty in this country than at any time in the last 50 years. Is this acceptable? And what would you do to close that gap?
The reason we have that many people living in poverty is because we got a president of the United States that's a job killer. That's what's wrong with this country today. You have a president who does not understand how to create wealth. He has overtaxed, overregulated the small businessmen and women to the point where they're laying off people. This president, I will suggest to you, is the biggest deterrent to getting this country back on track.
Well, what wasn't the question? Poverty, is it acceptable, and what would you do? Rick Perry totally blew off the question. He was asked if the income equality in America was acceptable. And he was asked, what would he do to close this wealth gap in America? But he responded with a generic, factually incorrect attack on President Obama. Rick Perry doesn't see a problem with the income gap. And it's not a problem for him personally. You see, his personal worth is $1.1 million. But here's the reality for the rest of the country. Over the last 50 years, the 400 richest taxpayers have gone from paying an effective federal tax rate of more than 50% to paying less than 17%, while the rate for average Americans has gone up. And if you watch this show regularly, you'll recognize my favorite chart. It reflects the debate question Perry ignored last night. Since 1979, the top 1% has gotten richer and richer, while the income average of Americans has barely changed. That's the blue line down at the bottom. But Perry seems to think that President Obama is responsible for the last 30 years of growing income inequality. Well, let's do some research. Here is Barack Obama in 1979 playing high school basketball, and according to Perry, putting his master plan in motion to create the largest wealth gap since the 1920s. The economy was already feeling the influence of Barack Obama at his 1979 high school graduation. And this 1979 hug from Obama's grandmother was apparently powerful enough to slash tax rates for the rich. Once again, Rick Perry made a fool of himself in the debate last night. And for him to respond to a serious question about closing the income gap with a canned attack on President Obama pretty much is Bush League psycho talk. Right-wing dirty tricks in Ohio, they can't handle the truth about their anti-labor legislation, Senate Bill 5, so they distort the message of a great-grandmother. That's next. And later, Herman Cain says liberals in the black community are racist for questioning his politics. Michael Eric Dyson will have something to say about that. You're watching The Ed Show on MSNBC. Stay with us.